All right, guys. It is time for the post-debate reaction, and woo lad, were there a bunch of mwah moments. I'm currently spurging over the poor boys comment by Joe Biden. Of course, Joe Biden is a senile old man who, when the person spoken to his wire, could not properly pronounce Proud Boys at the right moment, so it came out as Poor Boys, which, that kind of happens. But no, Trump did not, he didn't blow it, he didn't go too bombastic, he kept it cool, which is, what you need to do. The constant call-outs of, you did nothing for 47 years. Where the fuck did the 3.5 million come from? How did you get it? Joe Biden and his non-answers with, I've never received foreign governments. Yeah, fucker. We know that you laundered the money through your family. That's part of the fucking story. So no one cares about the bullshit political speak. We already know the game. It was annoying, though. It was annoying because Donald Trump would have Biden on the ropes about whatever issue it was, whether it was a laptop, whether it was the foreign money that he got, whether it was his deals with China, whether it was all of Biden's corruption was immediately interrupted and interceded by the moderator, bless her heart, like we don't know who she works for. And it was everything you'd expect with Trump saying pretty much all the right things. Another blunder that Biden had that all got us tickled is Abraham Lincoln here is the most racist president ever, and that didn't go well. That's not going to be a sound bite that's going to resonate with the people, shall we say. Biden admitted that he's going to reenact Biden care. Step aside, Obama. Your legacy don't mean shit no more. And if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black anymore, motherfucker. So here we go with that. Biden care now. It is officially Biden care, which, by the way, Joe, if you say that you're, for a single payer market or a public option and you believe that health care is a right, that's socialized medicine by definition. That is what socialized medicine is. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, all in all, Trump came out looking pretty clean. And, Biden did have those moments where he would, talk to the audience about that missing person at the table, that empty seat. I don't know if that's going to resonate well with Americans, because most of the people who died with COVID had other pre-existing conditions, obesity, heart conditions, gunshot wounds. So I'm not sure if the American people are down with the comparison of, the person who, lost their lives in, situation X, Y, and Z were necessarily killed by COVID. That's something that, Joe's not going to show you, but, it's a good debate talking point, but I don't think it hit home with the American people the way that his team thinks that it might, because it's not real. I don't think the average person can actually relate to that sentiment. All the people who died, quote unquote, with COVID had other factors. They had comorbidities. They had things that were going to kill them anyway, and having COVID was either the straw that broke the camel's back among a heap shit of other straws, or B, it was something no one knew until after the fact when they tested, this person happened to have been positive for COVID. So whether or not most Americans actually feel that line, I highly doubt it. I don't think most people say, I lost a loved one to COVID. That's not usually what happens. There's usually some other cause there. So it's a good line for the debate. Not so sure it's going to hit home with America by and large. And we see that through the numbers. I think this was, now I saw another graph, and it was interesting because you can see the the topics being searched or the interest being piqued. And there was a point where it's Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, and then Hunter Biden shoots up. Joe Biden's not even the interest part of the debate. It's all about Hunter now. So that was an interesting graph to look at. And by and large, when you watch this debate, I really liked how it was Donald Trump, the businessman, the capitalist, the realist, the adult in the room, talking about COVID, talking about management, talking about how the world actually works in handling a crisis. And then you have Joe Biden, off in the boondocks with all of the political talking points of how he wants the world to be and how this wasn't an ideal situation. And I think Americans see through that. I really do. I really believe that most Americans can discern between someone who does the work and someone who's just complaining on the sidelines. You know, the little peanut gallery who no one can ever satisfy no matter what. And that's ultimately what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the portion of America who want to work, who want to make things work. And then we have the rest. We have the left. We have the radicals who want to tell us everything that we've done wrong or how what we've come up with isn't good enough. And I don't think the American people are going to vote for that. I think the American people want results. They don't want excuses. They don't want someone who's going to show up after the work is done saying, oh, that's not good enough. Well, actually, no one cares. America wants to be open for business. They want to take care of business. And that's what Donald Trump represented. And Joe Biden fell flat. I'm sorry. Joe Biden didn't offer anything that Donald Trump, A, hadn't already done, or B, is doing better than what he's proposing. That's the takeaway. There were a few other issues. Off the top of my head, I'm drawing a blank because I've covered most of it just in a brief rapid fire style. But there were a few. It was interesting. They talked about COVID. Immigration. Immigration, of course. The media released a story about children not being able to make it home, like they're orphans now, that they had to be separated by ICE and the immigration workers. Well, the truth behind that story is these children were separated because, and explicitly because, they were not in the custody of their actual parents. They had been DNA tested, and the test results showed that they were not, in fact, related to the people claiming to be related to them, and that these people had no right, no reason to have these children in their custody. So, being a good government, and when you see that a child is being trafficked, you take that child out from their abusers, from their kidnappers. That's why they're not with their parents. And the fact that the Democrats want to cry foul that children are being saved from kidnappers, and oh my goodness, but they're not with their parents. Yeah, they're out of the hands of their abductors, motherfuckers. And just the absolute dissonance that the Democratic Party can have, and those who actually follow them say, oh, these poor kids. No, these kids are being saved. And they're trying to get them back with their parents. That's a fucking victory. That is a win. We have 500 some odd children who are separated from their parents because they were abducted and human trafficked and used for God knows what else on their journey to that border. And when they got to the border, their abductors were caught and were able to try and get them back with their parents from wherever they may be. Another issue with the whole immigration shit. Oh, Joe Biden wants to legalize every illegal immigrant in this country. Full stop. Blanket amnesty. He wants to give them amnesty, and that, of course, is going to be a disaster. Joe Biden has incentivized illegal immigration once again, which is not something the American people want at all. We voted for a fucking wall. Now, the wall isn't completely here, and there's, bullshit on both sides about why either it's a bad thing or why it's not good enough. Or some of us are happy with his progress. Either way you fall on that spectrum doesn't really matter. Trump is working on it, so he says. We see the progress on the wall, whatever. But Joe Biden wants complete amnesty, and that's a problem for us. In fact, last I checked, wasn't he on the stage with the rest of the Democratic candidates and said, yeah, we want to give free health care to be extended to all illegal immigrants. And America doesn't want that either. So along with social health care, he wants amnesty and full benefits to those trying to get here. And then there was a whole shit show about those seeking asylum, as if those seeking asylum are honest actors, as if we're supposed to take them at their word. He tried to say that they would get a court date and be heard, and Donald Trump's like, that's not what you're completely ignorant, you're stupid. And he completely owned them on the topic by revealing to the audience that most people who would show up during catch and release wouldn't show up for their fucking court date. And you know what? I wouldn't have either. This is a common sense thing. If you're already in the country, get out of Dodge would be the common sense thing to do. And so it was a good showing for Trump that he knew his shit. And he came off as extremely calm, collected, competent, and he went after Biden every opportunity. Another thing that pissed me off, and this has been for the last couple of weeks leading up to this debate, is the complete negligence and complicity that the media has in covering for Biden's corruption. They are sincerely trying to say that this expose of Hunter Biden's laptop is Russia collusion, that it's a counterintelligence thing against Joe Biden, when Joe Biden has been accepting Russian money. And they want us to believe it's a conspiracy, that it's not valid, that it's not real, and that it's just a big giant hoax. Well, bullshit. Everyone who has even glanced at the way that this information has been packaged and put together knows that it's not. That's another thing that pissed me off during the debate, is it was just assumed, oh, that's just a giant hoax. You know what? Sadly, we will not see Joe Biden be brought to justice on this. But hopefully the election will speak for itself, and we'll be able to get him after he's not voted in. And for fuck's sake, even if he is voted in, maybe we can get him out. Maybe this laptop is in fact our trump card, and we can completely delegitimize that new regime. Anyways, guys, this is my post-debate reaction. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Roo. As always, guys, stay carnal.